everybody. All right, step one. Here we are with our piece of paper. I'm so excited about this. And we're going to do our entire drawing. That's going to be the first step. So our only tools are going to be our pencil and a clean eraser. So nice sharp pencil. So if you don't have a sharp pencil, see if you can go pause the video and go get your pencil nice and sharp. Okay, so I'm getting my pencil nice and sharp. Putting my shavings over here. Very good. Now, to do this drawing, the first step is that we're going to put the flowers in this center band all the way around. And we're going to draw some lines as guides to get us started. So what I'd like you to do is to turn your paper, put the bottom edge at the bottom. Now what I'm doing, if you have a deckled edge, put it at the bottom, okay? If you don't have a deckled edge, it doesn't matter. So I have the deckled edge at the bottom, and I'm gonna go to the very top, and I'm gonna try to find the very, very, very top of that circle. Now this isn't the top of the circle, this isn't the top of the circle. I'm gonna try to find the very, very top as if it were a clock and put a little light line at 12 o'clock. And Mrs. Sheba drew these circles for you, and you should be able to find a little pinprick of a hole at the very, very center. Make a little dot there at the center of that pinprick. Now, before we draw any lines, I want to talk a little bit about how we draw lines. I'm going to draw mine a little bit darker so that you can see them, and it might be difficult even for you now to see the circle. Here's the outer circle, the next step in, here's the third circle, and then the fourth circle, or the smallest circle. And what I want all of you to do is to really hold your pencil nice and light and practice just tickling the paper with your pencil. Now, you can tickle it so light that you can't see anything. That's not what we want, but we want to tickle it light enough that we can see the line. Now, I'm not really pressing on this at all. Now, if I start to press, I'm going to see it darker and press harder and even darker. We really don't want that because at the end of our painting, we don't want to see all the lines. And I know that Mrs. Sheba showed you the finished painting, but if you look at this, it's really hard to see my lines. And that's because I did them so light. So again, you want to do your lines nice and light. So coming back to how we then draw our lines, we made a line at 12 o'clock, and we're going to use a straight edge, and I'm using a piece of watercolor paper for my straight edge, and we're going to line it up with number 12 with a little dot at 12 and the dot in the center. And then tickling the paper from line number 2 to line number 3, we want to draw a line. And then at the bottom, which would be 6 o'clock, we're going to draw a line as well. So we're drawing a line through the fat part of the circle. And now we're going to turn the page counterclockwise, and we're going to line up 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Try to have, so this isn't quite lined up. You want them to be level. So I'm lining them up nice and level, going across. You can even bring your paper down to the edge of your board if you want to help you level it. And then again, go back and find the very, very tippy top. Find 12 o'clock again. Use your straight edge. Draw or line it up from 12 o'clock through the center dot, and draw a line again from 12 o'clock through the fat part, and a 6 o'clock again. All right, so now we've quartered everything. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it in this direction, and we want to divide each of these into 3 sections. And in order to have 3 sections of space, we're going to need to add 2 lines. So if we come along this line, we want to divide this line right here, which is the 3rd line coming in, or the 2nd smallest, into 3. So I'm going to try to come, if this is 12 o'clock and this is 3 o'clock, I'm going to try to find 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. So let's see if we can do that. I'm going to put 1 o'clock here and 2 o'clock here. Now you can take your ruler and you can actually measure from this point to this point. You can say, what is that measurement? Now I don't have a ruler, I just have a piece of paper, and I can see that I've made this center section wider. So I'm gonna just step in just a teeny little bit. Now the thing is about this mandala is you're gonna see that this is not about drawing it perfectly at all. This is nothing about perfection. So I think that's pretty good. And again, it's not perfect, but it's good. So I've divided it into 3 parts. And again, I'm gonna come from this line now, that little dot, it's not a line yet, from that dot through the center dot and draw a line here and a line here. See? Turn it, and from this dot through the center, another line. This is the part that we want to be maybe the most precise with, and we'll get a little looser as we move on. See how we've done that? And then let's find, you can turn it however you turn it into another section. And again, we want to divide this section into 3 spaces, which means we need to add 2 extra lines. So we're gonna put a little dot where we think it might be, where 1 o'clock would be again, and 2 o'clock. And you can do a little, you can measure it if you want to, but you know what, I'm just gonna eyeball it. That's good enough. So I found my little spot, my dot, from the dot through the center, draw a light line that you can see. Again, mine are darker, and then from this other dot, through the center. Perfect. Now when I say perfect, it's not perfect. And if you look at my circle, you can see that maybe this one's bigger, this one's bigger. And I can tweak it a little bit if I wanted to, but you know, it really just doesn't matter. It's okay that it's not exact. If you feel like some of your spaces are really too big, go ahead and pause the video and just take a little bit of time to adjust them if you feel like it. And I'm gonna let mine be okay, just the way it is. But again, turn off the video if you wanna make some adjustments, and then turn your video back on and we'll go on to the next phase.